And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today's title is Don't Be a Little Bitch. Now, my mother obviously would not, agree to this title. But to be honest with you, I've been chasing my mom away by having so many semen retention videos, so it's okay. In terms of don't be a little bitch, what I want to talk about is you blaming the world, everyone around you, everyone's wrong, it's their fault, and that mentality. That's what we're going to talk about today, and I want to make sure that you get this in your little brain, because if you can get this, understanding blame and responsibility, your life will change forever. And you'll be able to get control over your life and over your situation. So let's talk about blame for a second. I love this concept. When you blame, you are basically giving away your power, the ability to do, to someone else who is not you. When you blame, you're basically saying that it's not me who caused this situation. It was someone else, and they're the ones who have to fix it, or else this situation is not going to be solved. You are blaming them and saying, it's not me. I can't fix this. I'm a victim. There's no other way for this to be fixed unless they fix it. Who is the leader in that situation? Who is the leader in that situation? You are making them the leaders, whoever it might be. This could be politicians. I'm guilty of this. Like in terms of the politics stuff, because politics is very important to me. And so when I see something that I don't like, guess what? I bitch about it. I complain, and I basically said, if they just did this and this, man, and I never say that anyone is stupid, because I understand that people are just at different levels in life in general. But complaining and saying that politics and taxes suck, it drags me down into a negative spiral that is not conducive to my long-term success. Now, politics is just an example of this, but it's a big example that I need to remind myself about and put that to the side. There's just a couple of things I can do that is in my control when it comes to politics. I can vote on the party that I love, and I can share with other people about the party that I love if they're on the fence and asking me about it. Other than that, to spend time complaining about different politicians, to say that he doesn't know what he's doing and they suck and all that stuff, is a complete waste of time. It doesn't bring us further anyway, and it makes them the leader instead of me. I want to be the leader. Got it? I want to be the leader in terms of if I'm strongly opinionated about something, of course I want to be the leader. There's nothing wrong with that. But my job is to not complain about it. My job is to focus on my business, raise a lot of money, serve a lot of people, make a lot of people happy, and then I can share my views and share my political party. And do you understand? That's how you raise your influence, not through negativity and blaming, but through taking responsibility and sharing. That is in terms of politics, but it's in everything. It's in your relationship. So many guys blame their entire life and their problems on their wives and kids if they're married. Or you've got those guys who are divorced, and 90% of the time it's the woman who initiates divorce, or it was the man initiating divorce because of him blaming the woman, right? So it's always the blame thing that's going on in that relationship. If the man had taken 100% responsibility at all times in all places when it came to their relationship, his children would not be put in a heavy predicament in their lives. Yes, kids have a harder time growing up if their parents don't love each other. Duh, it's basic. So you've got to understand that if you understand the blame thing, your woman will never ever divorce you. She will never ever leave you. It's not physically possible because you take the power. You are the leader. You take the responsibility. She blames you all day long. And guess what? I love that. I love when my wife blames me because it gives me power in the relationship. It gives me the opportunity to change the situation. Not only do I get to be the one who's blamed, but once it succeeds, I'm the one who gets the credit. Now, obviously, I bring the credit back to her because I want to, recognize her and also, you understand? That's what good leaders do. They take the blame when something goes wrong and they give the responsibility away when everything goes right. But you just got to understand how that concept works in terms of blaming and taking responsibility. I even have a story for you. That was the story that I learned from a comedian on YouTube. And what he spoke about was how he got his now wife to marry him. Now listen to this. They're in a very warm country. I don't know where it was. It was someone else's honeymoon or whatever. And they were all packed in a bus. And in this bus is extremely warm, it's extremely hot, and guess what? Suddenly, it starts smelling. And everyone is like, oh man, someone farted. Guess what this guy did? He knew that it was his girlfriend. Because she was feeling very embarrassed, having her head in her hands. Do you know what he did? It was me. Exactly. What did he do? He took responsibility. He took the blame. What? Guess what happened? That woman, his girlfriend, there and then decided, this is the man I will marry. Hands down, no questions asked. And he managed to marry the love of his current life. Or his current love of his life. Or, yeah, whatever. Do you understand the point? That's the power of not being a little bitch. That's the power of taking the blame for things that happen to you, but also that happen around you. Taking responsibility is the key. Now, bitch, if you look about it in the dictionary or definition online, you'll see that it's female dog. Now, we all knew that. But it has a lot to do with femininity versus masculinity. I speak about this on my channel. Haven't spoken about it lately because I've been talking about semen retention. But when it comes to men becoming more and more feminine, guess what? They become more and more emotional. What happens when you become emotional? The more feminine you are, the more emotional you're gonna be. That's just how it is. Then things happen to them instead of them becoming the creators of their lives. When you're emotional, then you react. You become like you start becoming reactionary to things that happen to you. And when you become reactionary to things that happen to you, obviously it wasn't you who created it because it came from the outside, not from within. I didn't create this, so obviously I'm not to blame. I'm the victim, so someone must have done something to me. It's because you're emotional. It's because you're being a little girl. That's what's up. The reason why you're not in control in terms of your life, it's because you're becoming, or because you are a little girl. Don't wish it was easier. Work massively to become better. I know the saying is not quite like that, but I've changed it in order for you guys to understand. Wishing won't help the situation. Working, taking massive action in terms of changing the situation and preparing for the next time. Deciding there and then, this will never, ever happen again to me. I will take responsibility and prepare better for next time. Now, I'm bitching to you, obviously, right? But because I'm speaking to the whole world at the same time, I'm taking responsibility to share this message to you, that perhaps you can catch it, grab it, implement it into your own life, and realize, wow, I don't have to be a little bitch. I can actually take responsibility. And what actually happens when I take responsibility over my life, everything improves. Yeah, it's true. Now, another recommendation when it comes to emotional control. You want to be in control of your situation and things around you? Take control of your emotions. The way you control of your emotions is by controlling your thoughts. Now, a great recommendation to take care of that and to improve rapidly how you control your emotions and your thoughts is to practice semen retention. Do the 90-day challenge of no ejaculations for that span of time, and you will drastically improve every aspect of your life, but especially you controlling your thoughts and you controlling your emotions. Once you do that, the world is yours. I'm going to end this video with Grant Cardone. Now, this is probably copyrighted material, but since I'm not monetized anyway, it doesn't really matter. Now, anyway, but the point is, I'm reading and rereading and re-listening and listening and listening, this is Audible, by the way, to his book, The 10X Rule. Man, if you haven't gotten that book, order it today. And it's not enough to read it once, you gotta read it 10 times. Got it? But this is his start of chapter 6, and this also explains where I got the title for this video. Now listen closely.
Chapter 6, assume control for everything. I was going to call this chapter Don't Be a Little Bitch, but decided to back off a bit so as not to offend anyone, and there I went and slipped and said it anyway. I've been trying to work this title in since I published my last book, which became a New York Times bestseller. It's called If You're Not First, You're Last. I still love this title, Don't Be a Little Bitch. I've been dying to work it in someplace, and I finally squeezed it in. I love that. Arrgh.
Now, that's what I feel about that book. And I absolutely love the fact when he was like, I managed to squeeze it in, even though he didn't want to offend anyone. He managed to put it in because it's such an important topic. Don't be a little bitch. Don't be a victim. Go out there and make it happen. This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I'll see you again tomorrow.